cold calling bears, how long are you calling? How long are you going to stay there? For bears, I will call almost non-stop for an hour, and it's a non-stop deal. And it's almost continuous calling. A coyote you might call, for 45 seconds, a minute, and then you're waiting for 5 minutes to see if anything comes in. I don't like pausing like that with bears because their attention span can be lost like that. That's and that's where you can get lightheaded. Where it might be nice to having a partner, because if you pass out from blowing your call, and you wake up and the bear's looking at you, then it's a little bit different story. Electronic calls are nice. The Fox Pro makes a real nice electronic call of calling in a bear. To you makes you nervous. Calling with a buddy is nice, where you can trade off. Or there's another one. This is another one that Jones calls make. This is a fixed reed call, real easy to blow. Now watch this. Okay, I'm just breathing. Here, you want to try it?
I got a cold.
Yeah. So this is the point is this is just just breathing out my nose. So you can use this call with very little air pressure. If I'm using a fixed reed call, I'm out there with no less than 3 different calls because I want different sounds to be made. So it can be a very loud call. Of course, you can muffle that with your hand. But the point about what I love about this call is it's an easy call to master because there's a little metal reed in there. So it's a fixed reed, and you can blow it with very little air. So if I'm sitting on a place where I'm cold calling for bear, I'm going to give it at least an hour to see if that bear is going to come in. Frustrating part about that is you don't know if there's even a bear around, if that bear heard you and is not responding, if the bear heard you and came in 20 yards from you and you didn't hear him. You just don't know. And that's what makes it hard about calling bears, because they can be a very secretive animal.
So would you say almost all the bears we kill in the spring are on the green skid roads? Grassy skid roads?
Yeah,
or along
our clear cuts.
Yeah.
And are you saying that you might have trouble calling them out to the road because it's out in the
Sometimes.
trees?
The first one that I saw on call, we were actually bow hunting. It was in August, September. And we saw this bear down there, and of course, I'm not packing I'm just packing my calls, and he'd go, "Oh, let's call it in!" And it come in. Then we could see almost from here to the water bottle with Mr. Bravo here with his bow, and we decided to go after the elk. But yeah, it was, then I called, client actually shot one that I was cow calling, and the wind was perfect for us, because with the elk, I like wind, it's a big factor, and the elk just, they were responding to the call, coming in, and all of a sudden they just took off. I'm like, what in the world? And this bear come running in, and I couldn't see it. I was back and to the right, the bear come from the left, and I seen the client come to full draw, and I'm like, oh. And then pretty soon I saw something black, and I thought, what? And that bear had come in. Luckily he made a good shot, and it just run straight away.
Oh, fun.
Another thing with both turkey and bear hunting is you spend a lot of time out there, and Oregon is wet. Sport Hill makes these clothes, it's a 3SP fabric. It's the only fabric I think out there that stretches 4 ways at one time. I sleep in this stuff. It was just like pajamas. It's the most comfortable stuff in the world. It keeps you warm, it's windproof, the snow is excellent in the snow. I wear a snowmobile when we've been snowmobiling here lately. It's very important that you're comfortable, because I spend a ton of days out there, and if you aren't comfortable, I don't care how much fun you're having or how much action you're having, it's not a lot of fun. So check it out. He's got some over there. I've had it for like 3 years now, and absolutely love it. So it's something to look at. Keep talking. Yeah.
Okay, where are we at here? I just wanted to show you. This is a show that ran last year. I hosted a show called Outdoor America. Co-hosted it. This year I'm on to a new show called Trigicon's Game Chasers. But this is a show that ran last year of one we shot on Prince Wales Island in Alaska. A lot like hunting our Coast Strait over there. But I wanted to show you.
Better fishing, huh? Better fishing.
Yeah, I had to go fishing too over up there. You can use a crossbow up there, and that's what I ended up killing them with the crossbow. But what I wanted to show you here was a calling sequence that where we called in 5 bear this trip, and this is one that we call out of the timber. Now this is the bear that we saw from out in the ocean. We went and set up blind. We couldn't get to it because of the way the tide was. We couldn't get to it. You can hear some of the calls we tried calling that bear for over a half hour, and my buddy, he'd never called bear before. He was convinced that the bear had left, and I wasn't convinced. We went back out of the opening to see where that bear was, and that bear was laying in the same spot. It hadn't moved, and we were within 100 yards of it, but it just wasn't responding to our call. So we got set.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you need to move to see this, you can. So this bear, so we got to where we could see it. And that's again where I'm talking about being able to see the bear, to see how it's behaving. We got set up and started calling again, and the thing started getting riled up. And I called for a little bit, and I walked back into the timber. We worked this bear for over an hour. It started getting riled up and started, if you've ever called in a bear and they start smacking their teeth, you know, popping their jaws, and you hear them, you know, growling and tearing up trees and stuff, then you know they're getting really aggressive. My buddy said, "What's that mean?" I said, "It means it's coming to kill us. Get ready." And he was all over. So finally this bear started coming in, and it is about 60 yards from us where we killed her. But you can see the demeanor change right there of that bear.
Hungry.
Yeah, now that bear is starting to come in.
That's a good crossbow.
Yeah. So that was a pretty neat deal right there. But that bear, again, that thing, it didn't want to leave the open. Where we could not see that bear didn't want to, you know, it was hard for us to tell what that bear was doing. But by being persistent, by putting ourselves in a position where we could see the bear, then I could judge, you know, how frequently I needed to call to see how aggressive it was. You can see that thing for over a half hour, we watched that bear, and he'd just walk back and forth, and he'd just be in one spot, and then he'd go back in the timber, tear up some stuff, and then he'd start coming back out to check things out in the open. He didn't want to come out in the open. But you could see once he started moving slowly, and then once he got behind that tree, it was just, he started coming a little faster, got right to the opening. That bear, I guarantee you, if we wanted to chance it, we could have called that bear right out on the rock. His demeanor changed just like that when I started getting a little bit more aggressive with the call. So again, you know, the calling can be real hit and miss. Again, you could spend weeks out there and not call anything in. You could spend a day out there and call in 6. You don't know what you're going to get with bear hunting, but try to find them first. Again, these are all the calls that we're using here. Jones Calls is here, and these are the people that are helping put this on, of course. Jones Calls Sport Hill Clothing. I've hunted all over the world in the Sport Hill Clothing. I was under contract with Under Armour for several years, and once I started wearing this stuff, this is just phenomenal stuff. So there's a lot of neat gear and gadgets that we use that are around here, and I mean, this is stuff I use. I make my living off of it, so it's fun, good stuff, and I enjoy it.
Do you think, like, oftentimes when a guy will shoot an elk with an arrow, they'll get on a call just to try to slow it down or maybe make it stop? Do you think a bear would react anywhere like that?
You know, bears, if you hit them right, they're the easiest animal to kill in the world. I mean, we've stuck bears with arrows that have gone 8 yards. I mean, if you see them, I mean, you shoot them right here, and literally, they wouldn't make it to the back row of seat. I mean, they just take off, boom, boom, 2 strides, and they're dead. You think, holy cow, how'd that happen?
It's sometimes faster with a bow than with a rifle.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
but
it can be
some of our roads, logging roads that we get on, are this deep on both sides, and 2 strides, and they'll go 400 yards.
Yeah, but the fun of bear hunting stops the minute you pull the trigger. They're